Hello everybody and welcome to Railroad Tycoon 2 Platinum, the start of a new campaign, the second campaign that the game has to offer. Over here, the second century. And you can see this little note at the bottom there. This campaign is significantly harder than the classic campaign. It is recommended you play the classic campaign first. If you've not seen that on the channel, by all means go check that out. We did rather well in it. I won't spoil anything if you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is a lot more difficult. But a lot more rewarding as well if you are successful, and there are some very interesting, I guess, missions on it, scenarios in it, that really do put you to the test. So let's begin, shall we? We're going to do it on hard difficulty, and here we go.
Huh? Oh, hey there again. Welcome to my home away from home. This is just the place, though, to be if you want to get the feel for the second century of railroads. From about 1930 on, Great technological advances like the rise of electric and diesel, along with the events like World War II. Well, they forever changed the railroad industry. The second century was shaped by an extraordinary breed of men. They must have really been something. I don't think men like them come along too often, You really think you have what it takes to make it through the second century of railroads? Just look at you with your shirt untucked, your glazed eyes, and that self-satisfied smirk. Okay. You go ahead. Climb on up into one of them and take her out. See where she takes you. I tell you, I better notify the search and rescue, 'cause you worry me, you little hoodlum. Okay, choose an option from below and have at it.
What a charming fellow. Alright, so we are starting with North to Alaska. We've got steel revenue plus 30%, starting 200k company cash, and minus 20% fuel cost. Generally speaking, starting with more company cash is almost always the worst option because you don't get any benefits over time. Unlike the fuel cost, which is very good, minus 20% is actually quite good. But I'm tempted to have a go at steel revenue. The thing is, we can run this run on electric, or at least at the start, so we don't get a lot of those savings early on, and steel revenue ends up being potentially quite prominent early. We also have a very, very short length of time to fulfill the parameters of this particular one here. So the even just the bronze scenario, I think, to get the bronze on it, we've only got 13 years. I'm going to have a go on steel revenue and see if that gets us going, because I don't think I've ever selected that. Alright, let's go. I will try and get the videos for each of the scenarios as well, and put them in at the start of each one that we do, somewhere on YouTube. I'm sure someone, hopefully, that doesn't upload anymore has them. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, let's go.
Not a lot of information to work with. Yeah, but that's usually the way the government likes it during wartime. All we know is the U.S. and Canadian governments want a direct line from Seattle to Fairbanks. That's in Alaska, son. And by the way they're fidgeting in their seats, I'd say they need it done fast. They better make some hot cocoa.
As the railroad industry enters its second century, America is in the midst of a Great Depression. Moreover, tensions with foreign powers, notably Japan, are on the rise. Looking to kill two birds with one stone, the US government has commissioned a great public work to create jobs and protect the remote territory of Alaska from the Japanese. You have been ordered to build a railroad from Seattle to Fairbanks. For the bronze, connect Fairbanks to Seattle by the end of 1945. For the silver, in addition to the connection, attain a company book value of $10 million by the end of 1945. Gold, do all of the above, and move 12 loads of troops to Fairbanks by the end of 1945. 13 years is all we've got. That's it. We only have 13 years. Alright, I believe there's some notes. The government has granted you some track and stations and some starting cash. However, due to the financial constraints brought on by the Depression, you'll have to fund pretty much the project by yourself. by operating profitably along the way. The government has granted you a 150k per year stipend. That's all it can do. You'll only be able to build track connected to your existing track. That's a key detail. You can head north from Seattle, south from Fairbanks, or do both simultaneously. The Canadian government has graciously allowed you to build through Canada. Unfortunately, they are levying taxes and fees that add 25% to the cost of building track and on Canadian soil. Try to stick to the US turf when building, essentially. Good luck. Right, okay, I have set it to 0, so time is not moving. A little tip here. To climb steep grades outside of Vancouver, try a switchback that climbs gradually to the north, then doubles back. Use the grid, so that's the G button, to help find decent paths. Also look into the steel mill in Portland. It can be a valuable industry. So there you go, there's that G button it's on about. So we have, like they described, some starting track and stations here. Vancouver and Seattle. We can start it from Fairbanks if we wanted. We have a station here, which also has some troops. It might be well worth. Are there any troops in the area? Because if we just have to supply them with troops, that could be a way to meet that. Oh no. Miles away. All the troops are down here. There's 2 there. That would be quite useful. I believe they only produce 2 a year. So as you can see here, we have got new, I guess, industry types, I suppose you could say. We've got ammunition, weapons. So that's a thing. Let's get them all going here. We don't have... we only have troops, it would seem. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, here's Fairbanks. Here's what the barracks are like. They produce 1 troops. They also demand troops, food, and alcohol. Like any good soldier, eh? Right, so what have we got? Over here is not exactly great. Dot Lake. There's not really anything here. I mean, there's some industry that complements a little bit, but then where would we take that paper? Yeah. Fort Nelson's good. Obviously, I think... Now, it is saying that we should go from here and kind of saying, oh, let's sort of go through the mountains around Vancouver, yes? Here. It's kind of hinting, why don't you do this? Do a switchback going up this way. I don't think I'm going to do that. I might instead try and get out this way and capitalize on here. Although this is all Canada, and that's kind of a little bit of an issue potentially. Now we do have the steel mill here as well, so that is something. Wow, this is what we've got over here in Spokane. Just kind of hoping we had somewhere to take that steel. We don't, do we? Do we have anywhere here? We do. We actually have produce aluminium there. Okay, but we don't have any produce anywhere else. We have produce up here actually. Might be able to get some food going down to Portland. We can build a rail, I think, just about going out this way. And do something here, yeah. But it, like I say, it does want me to stick to here. Although, coming out this way might be a good idea because we've got multiple troops here in Prince George. Oh, hang on, I didn't see you there. Here we go, weapons factory. Steel and rubber to make weapons, but nowhere demands the weapons, it would seem. To my knowledge, anyway. Yeah, it produces weapons, but nowhere demands them, so it's pointless kind of supplying that, really. In the meantime, you basically get a, I think it's a weapons depot or something like that. Okay, I can't believe I missed this, but you produce rubber. Now, I already knew you produced iron and coal, which is great, so that's how we supply the steel mill over here. But we have an auto factory up here. Steel and tyres. We just need a way to convert the rubber into tyres, and unfortunately there isn't one. There just isn't one nearby, to my knowledge. And like I say, we've only got 13 years to do this. You demand rubber. Maybe... Oh, okay, you're not helping me at all, are you? Well, never mind. Okay, I guess this has kind of backfired. I think going for the produce and going for food is what makes the most sense. Then we take it down to Portland. Now, over here, as you can see, we've got electric track, a single rail one. So, yeah, supplying you with the... Oh, it's aluminium. It's not even steel. Wow, I picked the wrong option. People, I've picked the wrong option. Very annoyed with myself. Unless we take the steel to what? I mean, it might have to go, actually, up here. I think if I double track this up, we have a steel train. We then have perhaps a food train. Sorry, a passenger train. Kind of just go in between the stations. That might be the best option. Or we do have one going and kind of doing all three. You've already got one coal, one iron. But I need to make sure it's full, is the only thing. I'm seeing a lot of lumber mills here, but I don't see any logging camps. We can take the aluminium up here, and then we can take some produce from over here, is always an option. I think we'll really try and kit this out. This area in particular, yeah. I mean, this is in the States as well, so building will be cheaper, and I think maybe we will take the advice on the switchback. Maybe we don't even need a switchback, because if it's saying here, move 12 loads of troops to Fairbanks, it doesn't matter where they come from. So if we just sort of build a random track up here, kind of get going, just so we can sort of take advantage of Prince George. This looks like it's predominantly downhill, or at least it's going to be downhill if we go this way. Through Fort Nelson, we can take 4 at a time, and then take the, yeah, literally we've got a nice canyon here that we can use. If I can make all of that electric, that would be amazing, but if I can't, then I'll just use a... What train have we got, actually? I think I saw a Mikado. Yeah, Mikados are strong, very strong trains. Not too expensive, they're quite pricey compared to everything else, actually. Not the Pacific, though, but much better, isn't it? Yeah, way better. We're probably going to utilise the Class 1045s to begin with. They're nice and nippy, very cheap to run, electric trains. I quite like those. The E33s are really good as well, very reliable, but their acceleration is very poor. I think I'd rather go for a little bit of speed to begin with so we can make some money. Let's have a quick look at actually the manager. So cheaper fuel costs, I'm not interested in that. Cheaper diesel, not interested in that. None of this is useful. Does that negate that? Engine maintenance, probably not, because we're going electric. It might be cheaper to get rid of him. Go for cheaper overheads. Is there a better one here? Track maintenance higher. So no good managers. Let's reduce the dividend to 0. We're going to need every little bit of money I can get. I can issue a bond. That's good to know. I think, though, I'm going to start with a steel train that goes from Seattle up to Portland. Converts that to steel. The steel will then be taken down here to the auto plant. Now, that might be enough to make this auto plant profitable to purchase, so that's one train there. We're then going to have another train that takes produce down here. I think at the same time, I'd like it if you took some aluminium here. So we take produce here, and then maybe we take some food over to Seattle. And then passengers back is an option. Could work. So this can stay as a single line train then, and we just double up here because there's going to be 2 trains running. That would be 2 services hauling quite a lot of industry, and I think that's the way we're going to go. Alright, let's do this. Let's see how we get on here. Let's try and keep it nice and flat. It gets very bumpy at times, as you can see. Rather rapidly. If I was to do this... Yeah. 2.8 is acceptable. It is acceptable. Alright, let's kind of try and get an idea of where we can place this damn station. That's not even connected to the mill. There we go, that's going to have to do it. There is a gravel pit there. Did I see a... Yes. Step into my gravel pit. There's an oil well there. Didn't see that before. Okay, I might have to actually... Is that... Yeah, will that work? What do we think? I think that might work, actually. Let's try it. But do it this way, please. Done. That's covering a lot. We got a lot we can play with here. What's the... Nah, do you know what? It's actually easier for you to... Yeah, let's do that. Okay, 300k. We still need to do quite a lot here. That produce is in a really horrible spot. You can... Let's just think a little bit about this. You can actually sort of... connect to... Can you connect to both? Yeah, from here. Alright. That will have to wait, though. In the meantime, shall we get the steel going from Seattle I think so. Although we may start with some passengers just on the first train. That's probably a good way to go, isn't it? Right, everything's electric, which is terrific. Do we maybe want to start you from somewhere else? Like, maybe we go from Portland? Do you demand any gravel? Did I miss anything there? Nope. Okay, looking good. So, here we go. By the way, I never played this campaign until I think it was around 2020 or so, when we were all locked in. I didn't know it existed, if I'm being honest with you. I think I might go double up, and I might even say you've got to have everything on board. Yeah, let's do that. Right, first train is just for the sake of making a bit of money, essentially. So, yes, we're kind of going to be a bit longer with the whole transitioning around here, but that's okay. That's a pretty good amount of money. I've got to say, we're also going to need various services. We've got no infrastructure in place, like maintenance or anything like that. Do you demand any, like, oil just on its own? No, we're at the point where we would need to take that to get refined. But that's okay. I just realised you need to take both, don't you? Yep, 2 of each. You have no iron. What's going on there? What's all this all about? Why are you holding out on the iron? Look, supposed to produce 2 a year of each. That's what I was expecting, but oh well. Yeah, a large station to get all this produce. Produces 2 per year. I don't even need 2, I just need 1. So I'm wondering, is it possible to just get in range? It doesn't appear that it is. Very disappointing, that. But that's fine. That just is what it is. Alright, and it's our first train, so of course it sets some sort of record. That is some pretty nice passenger revenue, as you can see there. Seattle Flyer. Hold there. Right, how are you looking? You get through quite a bit of sand. I think we're going to need some sand. A sanding tower here. And down here we're probably going to need a roundhouse. But for the meantime, am I going to utilise this? At some point I will. So I will need to double track that up. We've got quite a few things going on here. Yeah, but we're spending the next few years around here. Right, let's try and target the perfect location for this. It's about here, isn't it? We need to make sure that we can build track alongside it, and I think we can. That might be the way I go to begin with here, as we just sort of hug the river. I think I might just build this along here. Let's not have anything be too disruptive, shall we say. We are going to want to, because we're going to build that along there. I think I'm going to build something that goes along here, actually. So you know what I might start doing is look into taking some passengers back and forth instead. Perhaps from Vancouver. Well, that's the steel can go there, can't it? Yeah. You're taking the aluminium. We can take a train that goes back and forth here from Portland, I reckon. You demand troops, right? Do you... Oh, there's some troops here we can pick up. Yeah, there is as well. Didn't actually think about that. So perhaps you just go back and forth, and then we take the steel back and forth here. Does mean we're going to get a bit of congestion, though, is the only problem with that. Oh, I cannot decide, but I still need more trains. I need to keep some passenger revenue coming in at least. 95,000? Alright, change of plan. We're going to have a slow train that just takes heaps of passengers back and forth. Yeah, that'll do. And from Seattle you'll do the same. More passengers than anything. Pretty good. Okay, remember we do get this 150,000 a year. The stipend, that is really nice. 2 for 1, it doesn't matter. Stock splits are irrelevant. We cannot issue stock, by the way. Well, 150,000 was our profit, which is the stipend, so we didn't have that. No chance. Still not the best. Bond rates. 12 years to go. Okay, what I'm going to do now is build a slow train that just takes some produce over here. You're going to take these two to Portland, and from Portland, nothing. Just go empty, completely empty, actually. Yeah, that's right. So hopefully you get there first. Off you go. We are going to have to build a roundhouse and a sanding tower here now. Roundhouse, sanding tower, off you go. Very good. Right, so we have some basics in place. I still need to build a roundhouse up here somewhere for this train eventually. You really out of... Do you know what? Let's... Come on, really stack these up then. Make sure you're full of just good cargo, hopefully. And you can go down to 1. Just make sure that you're full each time you go. Excellent. Alright, lovely. And with this train coming in now, we're going to see some of our first industry really sort of progress. Okay, 272k. We also have roundhouse standing tower here. We need to build a roundhouse up here, methinks. How are you looking? Do you know what? I think we can retire this train now. It made us a tiny bit of money. Not much, but something. Roundhouse. There you are. Okay, we also need to make a connection all the way up here to Spokane. I don't know if there's much I can do about that this year. Let's see if we can get you. I'm going to prioritize you as a service. You've got all that steel and some food, and you're taking that down to Vancouver. Right. Wonderful. Yes, you have priority because you are both the faster train and the more important train. So I wonder if we want to get 2 of these going. Is an option. I think it is. Have a look at that. We've got 2 iron, 2 coal. Yeah, we totally do. We totally do. We want to make sure that as long as this train's full, we'll always have some available. So let's go ahead and do that right now. There you go. Starting in Seattle, though. Or do we want to start you maybe in Vancouver? No, we'll start you in Seattle. Another 150,000. We're getting there. We need to have a look to see what managers are available, actually. Anybody better, especially reducing track building costs. Track building 15% higher. Ew, that's gross. But there's still nobody good here. That is just dreadful, isn't it? Fuel costs, just nothing. Nothing. All the good managers are in jobs, I'm guessing. Right. Oh, 11%. How much would it cost to sort of get us, I don't know, up here, 500k? That's if we go electric. Can we get away with a single line train? We might be able to. There's a chemical plant, but there's nothing to use those chemicals for. We've got grains, we've got more gravel here. The idea is to supply the cement factory and take the cement back to Portland. And that's how we're going to really make even more money. As you see here, we are packing with a lot of good stuff, actually. Do you think I need a passenger service going from Vancouver to Portland? The only thing is the Vancouver one hasn't really got much going on there, does it, in terms of passengers? With that said, I still think it's worth the money, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Not to mention the additional food. Or we can just pop over to Seattle, take a load of passengers. There, that's what we do. Yeah, we go. Let's go with this dining, 1 food to Vancouver. From Vancouver, just take the 1 passenger. Go up here, and from here take this up to Portland. Done. That's it. Let's actually utilize what we have here. I'm also going to put these down for at least half of each, so they're at least not going completely empty if they do happen to go along. But yeah, we should make some decent money here, especially once we get, we want to look at buying some industries if we can, to give us a good amount of money each year. But what we're going to do is we're not going to electrify the rest of the map. We're going to go pure, steam, actually. So maybe we do want one of those steam managers. Have a quick look here. Fuel cost, steam being cheaper. We don't have the money? Oh, we don't have the money. No, we don't have the money. Okay, let's hold off on that just a moment. Right, finally, we're starting to make a little bit of money come in. That's a freaking relief, isn't it? You should be very profitable soon. You're curling around there to Portland. Where is that train? Oh, your track is blocked. I was just about to say, this train's going to be a bit slow going forward, I reckon. With that said, we'll put you down for 2, and we'll put you for, as long as you're at least half full, you'll never be wasted, as it were. I also don't think you need the caboose, because you're quite a reliable train, so that'll speed you up at least, going back and forth. Okay, so 500k there. I would love to get now another train going up this way. 1 or 2 trains, though, is the question. If we go single track, that will save me a little bit of money. I did say how much was this for a double? It's going to be a bit of a slow one, so actually... 3 degrees. I think I might actually have to make this a Mikado. Much quicker than one of these. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. We're going to go cheaper fuel costs. It's a lot faster. Can I go there and back in 1 year? I am dubious on that. But because it's so much cheaper, I say actually... This is quite good. 200k. Yeah? 3 degree gradient. Yeah, let's do this now. We're going to need to take out some debt at some point. 11% is not pretty, but it's going to get us there. So we can actually build a station, as you can see here. I think this way around is actually quite nice. What are we looking at here? Yeah, probably one medium station will cut it. Try and make this as cheap as possible. There. That's... we miss a house. One house is fine. One house is fine to miss. As long as we're producing cement. Okay, we could also potentially... Got troops there. You demand food. I think this one gravel pit will do. I think that's pretty nice. Alright, let's go for a Mikado. From Portland, suddenly it doesn't have anything. Okay, fantastic. We'll take 1 mail, 1 food, and 3 gravel. We will caboose. Let loose the caboose, as I will keep saying, much to all of your annoyances. How heavy is the cement? 30 tons. They're quite small, those. Although this time round we can take a 3rd cement back. Okay, very good. Lovely. I might need to micromanage this train going forward, potentially. But we'll see. We can also pick up some industry, as you can see here. So I am going to go ahead and do that before the year's end. At least that'll give us some profit. Oh, good. More money coming in. Right. I reckon this port is going to be profitable. We are using 6 out of its 7 products. Also, this cannery must surely be quite good. Which would be better, though, is the question. You've taken a little bit of food across. I'm going to go with the port. Because we're in December, so I'll get the money for the entire year, essentially. So that's why I want to pick up something now if I can. Alright, we've got our stipend. We've got 10 years only to get this done. Oh my goodness, that is so long. Right, the steel mill will be good. I would love that. 20,000 there. And you're lucrative as well. That's very, very nice. Only 8,000. Well, still. Remember, if you sell industries as well, you don't get as much back. It's something to remember. I do think I'm probably going to go like this, though. And instead of that, I'm going to go double gravel. We'll tack everything on at the end here. Like that. And Spokane. Yeah, that's... best we can do, I think. But there it goes, the Mikado. And you're going to need a water stop of some sorts, aren't you, as well? Just kind of remembered that. Oh, the GG1! The Almighty! Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? That's very interesting. Okay, so we want to get to Prince George. The aim here... I feel way behind on this, you know. Mind you, we can do it all in like 5 years. Like I say, if they only produce 1 troop a year, gotta get 12, that's 3 full years with 2 stops for 4 different barracks, that is. So we're okay. We are doing okay. You barely made it. I have gone ahead and given you the lot there. So let's go ahead and add a sanding tower here, because you did run out of sand. So that'll get you the rest of the way, but you're going to need a water tower here. Okay, very good. That is now fully operational, shall we say. You made a good bit of money. What about you? You're lucrative. 600,000. We are doing good. It's still worth me picking up some businesses. 10%. It's not worth it at 10% though, because we would need that to have a profit margin of like 80k plus, which that can be. And probably is by the end of this coming year, it will be. But still, I also need to build one more of these trains going as well. So yeah, you can see here. Well, they're kind of at opposite ends now, so actually they're doing okay. Okay, this is good. Cargo's going to be worth a lot more now. I also think I need a second one of these. You've got enough that, yeah, lovely. Right, second Mikado. Off it goes from Portland. Done. We'll need to double track this as well. Yes, that's actually a very true thing. Luckily, it doesn't cost too much, so we are in the States, so there we go. That should be enough. I doubt they're ever going to meet up here. Well, they might if you get blocked enough, to be honest. Okay, end of another year. Split 2 for 1 again. We have 2 new managers. Okay. Anybody that reduces track building. Fuel costs 10% cheaper in general. Traction better. Now, the reason that's good, essentially, you'll be able to go around corners quicker. That might be a little bit more favourable. Fuel costs in general, so it'll take 1,000 off each of the electric trains too. But the traction means they run faster. Oh, it's only on steam trains. Okay, so actually no, if that was in general, then I'd have been well up for that. Is there anything else I want to do here? Or have we got our sort of base set up? So this is going to cost a fortune just because it's up such a ridiculous hill. That's actually not bad. We just need to get to the top of it and then build a dirt cheap bridge, essentially, is what I'm looking to do here. So hang on. This, 118k. We've got Williams Lake here. I have a passenger service going back and forth. That's all this will be. I do like the fact that... coal and iron there, but there's no steel mills, are there? Right, much cheaper rates here. 7% on the bonds. I'm thinking at the end of next year we're going to build up here. We'll get some more money coming in. I think we'll be looking very good then. These two are kind of working quite well at the moment. Okay, we'll go for the Portland Trailblazer. Don't know why I didn't go for the Seattle Supersonic for the Seattle train that we had. That's okay. So how are you looking? You're almost there as well. This is good. We will be able to pick up this cement plant at some point then. So, and you're full. This is great. This is very profitable. That's what we like to see. Yeah, I'm going to, like I say, wait till the end of the year. Remember, building through Canada is going to be pricey, but I think it'll be worth it. And we are starting to see that money flow right now. We're going to need a good million or so to make this connection. Are we going to go... Look at the operating costs. They are so much less on the Class 1045. It's just the initial investment costs a lot. Is the problem with that. That said, we don't necessarily have to go Mikado. If it's quite flat, we can go for a cheaper train like the Usra here, which is only twice as expensive to run. Or even the Usra 080, which was better. 14 and 21. Performance-wise, this is much better on a hill. Bit slow though, isn't it? Not very reliable. Oh, my beloved GG1. I'd love to use you this playthrough. I could switch out some of these here. That is absolutely an option, but so far we're looking quite good. It's running for super cheap at the moment, and I might keep it that way. Although it is rather tempting. It is very tempting to change them in the short term and just take a load of cash as a result. Okay, we're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place right now. I need to make some rapid expansion. By 1940, I need this more or less complete. This rail going from here to there. I could pick up some industry to massively boost my income each year to do so. Or I make the expansion now and I can get some further income from here. It really is a bit of a tricky one, but debt is currently cheap-ish at 7%. So I think I'm gonna do that. Because we can see, look, this is making us 140k a year. That's no joke. That is no joke. Right, hopefully we can actually get some of these in on time, actually. That would be brilliant. That would be really good if we can get you, and then we can perhaps pick up this auto plant, and then I will happily fund it through debt. Right, can we? Yes. The auto plant is making some money. This will pay itself back in no time, to be honest. That is definitely worth picking up. And at some point, maybe we'll get the gravel pit and the cement. But to be honest with you, I'm happy just to take the income from these. Can I get an idea of how much I'm making from this? Oh, yeah, we're making good money. Yeah, we'll make good money from those trains. Okay, that's fine. But really, it's all this industry we're supplying. And the profits from the industry that's going to fund each leg of our growth each year. So we'll get started up here. Next year, I want this done. Probably is just going to be steam. Okay, there's the stipend. The US government has chosen your railway as the Northern Pacific supply line. All goods moved through your line will now earn plus 20%. I don't produce any goods, unfortunately. That wasn't what happened. Okay, I have to get that. I mean, that book value will naturally reach about 15 million, especially. Oh, wow, that is some nice profit. Go back to this. Yeah, really good. Really good. We've only got 300k though, but not an issue. Debt has never been cheaper, so we're going to go ahead and issue as many bonds. You know what, that'll probably do. That will probably do. Okay, so that will 5%, about 100k a year in debt. All right, that is what it is. Can you not get sort of? No, there's no good way you can do this. Let's do it. That's very annoying. Can you not do it from here? Yeah, like this. Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? Marginally cheaper, I think. There it is. Good. And through here. Right, lovely. So from here, let's go steel railway bridge. Let's just have a single track service. Don't go that way. That's horrendous. Let's go. Can we keep it as flat as possible? Getting across this river might be a little bit of an iffy one, but I think we found our way through. There it is. Beautiful. All right. So this is going to be probably a large station, so we can get both barracks. We can't quite get both barracks in. Have to be from here then. That's fine. That'll be a separate station then. Is there a way through here? There is. Ew! No, okay, that's a separate station. Alright, let's make some money here, shall we? No chance to make any money, apparently. Alright, I see how it is. Oh boy, 1 passengers. For goodness sake, this is terrible. I think you're going to be probably a Mikado. This one's not so bad. It's much cheaper to run. And especially maintain if we're waiting around for passengers, but I don't see it being much of a profit driver at those sorts of speeds. The prayer is too slow. We're going to go with this. Bit of an oldie, but it is a goodie. We're going to make sure you're at least half full, and that's the way that's just going to be. Okay, at least we have it. We obviously need to get some infrastructure as well in place for it. We'll do that in time. 70,000 that's making. This is making 166. Pretty bloody nice, if you ask me. We might even be able to pick up... I think we will pick up that gravel pit now. And, yeah, with any excess cash, just to help compensate for some of the debts, I say. We'll take as much as we can here. We're waiting for cargo anyway. Alright, that's unfortunate. The bloom is off the economic boom, which means slower, or rather less revenue. But hey, that's fine. We've built up our industry, and that's kind of the point. That's what's going to fuel our growth. So the next step from here is we're going to make the push to the end. That's pretty much it. Prince George Zephyr. Yes, that's what I think of when it comes to Prince George. Sure. King George, isn't it? No, Charles, sorry. I don't know my freaking royal family. Right, anyway. Let's see. I think we probably just want... This can kind of go anywhere, really. Doesn't actually matter. Would love to get 1 passenger, though, but I think I'm going to have to pick up that passenger from around here. Please don't tell me you demand troops. You don't. Good. You shouldn't be taking any troops. I'd pick up a passenger would be... Oh. You're going to eat up those troops, aren't you? Because you demand the troops. Ah, guys, I've seen the problem with this plan. The train that goes from here is going to have to operate isolated from the Fort Nelson. Train. Okay. At least I've picked up on that. At least I've picked up on it, so that could have been very annoying. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, we're at the end of the year. Another 2 for 1, which means we are doing well. Let's have a quick look here. 1.5 million in profit. We can complete the scenario with those sorts of numbers. 6% in debt, that's fine, I guess. Track building, 25% cheaper, 10% less track maintenance. There's our boy. There's our boy. Right, that is going to really, really help with our expansion, I would say. So let's sort of get over here. Yes. Gosh, that is... No. We're not using this at all. We're actually going to just do it like that. Yes. Very good. A large station here. You're actually connected, which I quite like. How far can we push this? Pretty far. In fact, that's actually usable. Right, yeah, very good. We'll go for a steel bridge, though. 280. Yeah. I guess that all checks out, right? Really, you can just be a small station. Maybe even a medium. There you go. Pick up some passengers from here. Oh, I'm loving this. This is a great idea. If there are any passengers. Okay, let's begin with... We're going to go with the Mikado. And you're going to stop here. And you're going to make sure that you have 2 troops and a caboose. Lovely. Can you imagine if the troops got robbed? That'd be hilarious. That actually would be freaking hilarious. Oh dear. Pick up an additional passenger. We'll put that as half full. Okay, yellow. Sell any demanded cargoes. Leave undemanded cargoes on the train to be sold off later. So there you go. You do not demand any troops. So you're not going to give up those damn troops. I'm going to have you set a waypoint for there. That's your next point. Okay. So yes, I'll wait for the troops. Start supplying the first set, which is really nice. And it's off. I realise this G key's a thing, but to be honest with you, I think because I grew up with this game, I don't really need it so much. I think I just got lucky with this bit here, though. The Streamliner. Look how expensive that thing is to run. This is in no way a viable option. Like, really. It just exists. That's the only reason it's sort of there. Okay, let's get going over here. 240. Bloody hell, it is expensive to build tracking up here, isn't it? Yeah. Gonna have to keep that waypoint. Let's remove that and just make it a bit further up, because you're quite helplessly going to reach it. Okay, we are near the end of the year. There's not much we can do at this point. Can't build any more track. Built a little bit more, but that is the best we can do. I might have to try and fuel some of this in debt, and I think I might do that for next year. Hold on to that 600k, and we'll see what our stipend and our businesses get us. Right, 150 there. Let's take a look at profit. Reduced quite a bit, but up to 1 million. That's quite good. I'd also like to build a station here. We just need... I think I will still go a large station, though. Let's bring the track up a little bit more, shall we? Let's start building the next leg, although it's looking very... Do you know what? I'm going to have to be a lot more intricate with this one. I think that's the way. Yeah, that's the way. This ain't looking amazing. 4% is manageable. That's also manageable. That's... As long as we go like this... I actually need to build the station here. I also need to build some sort of... something for you to resupply. Yeah, everything. Your everything. Definitely. Okay, what are we looking at? Yeah, we've got the troops. Can we get that? No, that's the best it's going to get. Okay. Yes, everything. Water, sanding. Done. Okay, you're going to go up to here now. That's your next destination. And that's it. Just up you go. Yeah, how much is a Mikado? Can we build one down here? 133. No, but we might be able to get by for slower train. I might have to get by for slower train. That actually is a valid option. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set one from Fort Nelson. Yeah, take a passengers, a mail, 2 troops. Maybe don't take the mail in case it disappears, because they have a thing for doing that. So do the passengers. Wait till you're full, and you're going to go up to the waypoints. Alright, we're getting there, guys. We are getting there. So, there you go. Right. You can now... Yeah, you can progress. Okay, good. There's our first 4. These trains, like I said, they're expensive to run, so it's going to eat into our profit margins a little bit. There's the only problem here. But it is what it is. I'm also going to grab another one. I know I just said that, but 2 troops. Caboose. Come back down here to Dawson Creek. Pick up just the 1 passenger. Go. Sell only demand. Yep. Only demanded cargo. And go all the way up to the waypoint. Please. There it is. Must be full. Doesn't have to be full. That's fine. Okay. Very good. Right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. We are... slightly in the profit. I've kind of made a balls of this section here. There's going to be a little bit of a steep hill at this section, but that's fine. There's the end of the year, which is a huge relief. Profits have actually been marginally better than I was expecting. 770k. That's something we can play with here, but not amazing, is it? Yeah, we've got a 4.5%. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll cope. Can we... How can we get this good? That looks great. It also seems to be getting a bit cheaper because it's a bit less hilly. 150. Yes! Let's do it like this. This is fine, because that's all one way we're going here. We're reaching the States, which is terrific news. But we do need to sort of make sure that we're relatively steady. Mainly this way. There it is. 136k. Yep. Okay. Fantastic. So, I've got 4 trains on service here. So you're now going to go all the way up to here. You're all going to do that, actually. You're on the way, so let's do this. There we go. And you should be now going up to here. And you should be... you're waiting for cargo. You're going to go up here. Then once you've got your cargo, let's also build 1 more Mikado. Get 2 troops here. Oh, lovely. Do you know what? Let's make this a nice full... Do you know what? Yeah. Let's go passenger mail, 2 troops, and just go all the way up here. Do you want to pick up any passengers here? I don't think we do. In fact, to the point where actually I'd rather have passengers. So, do you know what? Take one of those and add another passenger at the end. Although you're going to drop a passenger off, aren't you? Yeah, but you can pick up 2. That's fine. You know what? That's okay. And then go up this way. Oh, I can taste it. We're almost there. We are almost there. In fact, can we do this with 2 bonds? I think we can. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, guys. I'm going to do it. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. 4 point... That's a stupid... No, we made it. Wow. Managed to navigate that one all right. Yep, we can do it. That's it. We've done it. 3.5% downhill, that's fine. Done. Okay, change of plan. You are going to go all the way. Go. Stop. Let's, do this. Instead of waypoint 1, go here. Oh, we've made it. I'm so happy. I appear to have messed this one up. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, to be honest. You need to make sure that you've got everything. And I then go into Fairbanks. Okay. Oops, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So there, though, you're going to go over here. Okay, let's just sort of let them go about the place. Oh, finally. Oh, this is such a relief to see this all actually start to pay off, really. You've only got one. That's not correct. Can you go back to Fort Nelson then and do this again? Yeah. We balls that one up, but that's okay. At least I caught it. Remember, we've got to do 6 of these trains. We also have to make sure they don't crash. Where are you going? You're going to Fairbanks now. Okay, that's fine. As long as you're eventually finding the right way, we'll make it. We also need to add some additional stops. So we're going to add... We've already put a sanding tower, water tower here. Let's put another one here. Sanding water and a roundhouse whilst we have the money, because they are going to need oil. And probably, yeah, one in each of these areas here, I suppose. Sanding water, just about. That's all we can do for now. We will need one more, I reckon. Go for Dot Lake, I suppose. Well, get a look at this. Steel shortage critical. Prices up 75%. That's good for our original businesses here, then. Ooh, look at that. That's a lot of money for some steel. But here it is, the first train to Fairbanks with some troops. It's making its way in. We have done a terrific job here. I'm very happy with this. Let's hold it in. There it is. 200k a piece. Fantastic. There it is. Unload fully before we go and retire you. There we go. Lovely. Fantastic. And that will make things a bit cheaper, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If all of these can make it, we've done it, essentially. And here's the second one coming in. I believe the first 3 are actually quite close together. I might build a tertiary express, shall we say? Yes, let's do that, shall we? Let's go Mikado. Just in case something goes wrong and one of them does crash, we need to make sure that we are prepared. And there's another one. Oh, the money's coming in now. Oh, and here's the big boy. Trying to tempt us, are you, with the most expensive train ever, I swear. Well, it's not an electric Shinkansen type, but here we go. That's a great train. I love that one. 102 is a very strong one. Right, retire you. That's 4 loads, and this is going to take us to the halfway with 6. In you come. Nope, wrong way. Let's speed this up, shall we? We've basically done it. Well done. You've got no sand. Don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going, so let's retire you. There we go. How much are these actually making? That did make us a good 250k, plus the train cost itself, so really only 100k, but still profitable, right? Japanese take Kiska and Attu. What? Well, there you go. While Japan was losing the Battle of Midway Island, they captured 2 US islands in the Aleutian Island chain off Alaska. Ooh, there we go. Scary. Right, you do not need to be there. You can retire. We don't need you. That's it. We've done it. We have done it. That should be all of them. Your service to the Allies is worthy of the gold. We salute you. I'm glad we got off to a good start in this first scenario. So there you have it.
The Alaska Line is serving everyone well. Nice job. The extra supplies are helping to bring the war back from the brink of disaster.
Well, there you go. Next time the theme of war continues in the battle for Britain starting in 1940. That's interesting. Industry production plus 15%. I'm going to need to research that. Does that mean industries produce 15% more goods? Possibly. Train speed's always good though, isn't it? This should be an interesting one. But you're going to have to watch that one next time. Hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I will see you next time.